Good morning, dear students. Today we are in the third lecture of the first chapter, chapter number 1, that is Introduction. Today we will try to conclude this chapter, and from the next class we will start chapter 2, that is Consumers Equilibrium. Today we will learn what is basic economic problem, which is also alternatively known as problem of choice. Now, dear students, from the very outset, from the first day, I am going on telling one thing, that there are two things. One is resources, the other one is needs. Needs are infinite in nature. Resources are limited in nature. And resources have got alternative uses. So what is happening? Our resources are limited, but our needs are unlimited. We have to satisfy our unlimited needs with these limited resources. Naturally, there is a problem. And that problem is known as scarcity. Now, what is a scarcity? Scarcity means if the demand of a commodity is more than its supply, then it is known that the good is said to be scarce good. So, what is the thing? If the demand of certain commodity happens to be greater than its supply, then that good is said to be scarce goods. And those scarce goods will possess a price in the market. Now, first, what is basic economic problem? Simply, the problem which arises due to the fact of scarcity of resources and multiplicity of wants or needs. Scarcity of resources and multiplicity of wants is known as the basic economic problem. The economic problem which arises due to the scarcity of resources and multiplicity of wants is called basic economic problem. It is also known as the problem of choice. It is a universal problem in any type of economy. If you go, you will find that resources are limited and wants are unlimited. If you go to the developed economy like USA, UK, Canada, you will find this problem exists. In our country, which is a developing country, here also we will find that the problem of choice exists. Our resources are less than our needs. And the third, suppose you are going to underdeveloped economy. See any underdeveloped economy, any country in South African countries, any South African countries will also face the same problem. So it is a universal problem for each and every economy. Problem of choice is the universal problem for each and every type of economy because our wants are always unlimited and our resources will also always limited. I had told you in the first class that even the richest man of this world, he will have got a limited resources. Of course, it's very vast, very big, very large. Then again it is limited because that person, that richest person of the world is not having 1 rupee more than mentioned on the board. That's why he uses the word writing. We use the word writing only. 5 rupees, 5 lakhs only. Rupees 5 crores only. Only word is used. That means it is limited. Now, what are the reasons or causes of basic economic problem? Very important question. Only 3 causes you have to remember. And it is that these causes are actually the characteristics of needs and resources. The first one is needs are unlimited in nature. Resources are limited in nature. Resources have got alternative uses. So these are the 3 reasons or causes because needs are unlimited. Resources are limited. Third point, resources are not only limited, but they have got alternative uses. If the same 100 rupees note we are spending in this way, it can be spent in other ways also. So a number of ways are there by which your limited resources can be spent. So we say that resources have got alternative uses. This problem exists in each and every type of economy. Just now I told it. Now in this connection, a few terms we will learn first, and then we will come to the topic of central economic problem. So first one is the opportunity cost. What is the meaning of opportunity cost? Opportunity cost means cost of next best alternative. Or in other words, you can say, in order to avail a particular opportunity, the opportunity which is sacrificed is known as the opportunity cost of the availed opportunity in terms of opportunity sacrificed. Once again, dear students, listen very carefully. Due to limited space, I have not written that very definition. I had only given you this. It may be defined as the cost of next best alternative. You can elaborate it like this. In order to avail a particular opportunity which is sacrificed is known as the opportunity cost of the availed opportunity in terms of opportunity sacrificed. Let me give you an example. You are having 1000 rupees with you, and immediately before you, two needs I am finding. You want to purchase a book of accounts, and you want to purchase a t-shirt. You have seen that t-shirt in the showcase of a ready-made shop, and you liked it. It is a very nice one. You can purchase it. You have asked the shopkeeper regarding the price of that t-shirt. The shopkeeper has answered it is 800 rupees. On the other hand, the book of accounts, it's cost 900 rupees left. Now, with your limited resources of 1000 rupees, you cannot purchase both the goods simultaneously. Either you have to purchase the book of accounts or you have to purchase the t-shirt. Now see, if you are purchasing the book of accounts, that means you are sacrificing your desire to purchase the t-shirt and vice versa. If you are purchasing t-shirt, you are just sacrificing your desire to purchase the book of accounts. So here in this example, opportunity cost of t-shirt is the book of accounts which is sacrificed, and opportunity cost of book of account is the t-shirt which is sacrificed. Because with your limited resources, you cannot satisfy both the needs simultaneously. So that's why I said that in order to avail a particular opportunity, the opportunity which is sacrificed is known as the opportunity cost of the availed opportunity in terms of opportunity sacrificed. This is opportunity cost. Then scarcity, I have told you, a commodity is said to be scarce if its demand is more than its supply. Simply, that is, the formula is demand of a commodity is greater than supply of the commodity. Next one, economizing of resources. Dear students, we have seen our resources are limited and our wants are unlimited. So in this case, we cannot afford the luxury of wasting our resources, misusing our resources. Economizing the resources means best possible utilization of the limited resources that you are having. You are having 2000 rupees and you will distribute this 2000 rupees over various wants in such a way that it gives you maximum level of satisfaction. This is known as the economizing of resources, best use of the available resources. Here I have written best possible possible utilization of limited resources over unlimited wants is called economizing of resources. One more line I have joined. Here, the limited resources are used over unlimited wants most effectively and efficiently. Most effective and efficient utilization of resources over unlimited wants is called economizing of resources. Our resources are limited. We cannot afford the luxury to waste our resource or misuse our resource. The best possible utilization of our limited resources over unlimited wants is called economizing of resources. Here, the limited resources are used over unlimited wants most effectively and efficiently. Okay, dear students, now we will come to the central problem of an economy. The word central is given. Central means these are some problems which exist in each and every type of economy. Before that, I told you that basic economic problem is present in each and every type of economy. In continuation, I will just discuss the central problem of an economy. Central means these are the problems which are centrally located in the economy of each type, each country. Whether it is developed, whether it is developing, or it is underdeveloped, immaterial. You go in that country, you see the economy, you will find that these problems, these three problems basically, these are the centrally located problem, and the economy has to answer, economy has to make the decision, economy has to solve these problems. Now the thing is, different types of economy, capitalist, socialist, mixed, they solve these problems in different ways. Way of solving the basic economic problem or the way of solving of central economic problem are different for the different types of economies. In capitalist economy, the basic problems are solved, or the central problems are solved by the operation of price mechanism, by the instrument of price mechanism. So price mechanism is an instrument which is used by the capitalist economy in order to answer, in order to make a decision regarding this, in order to solve the problems of the economy. In case of socialist economy or in case of socialism, the basic problems, the central problems are solved by planning mechanism. And our country is having a mixed economy. It is a just judicial mixture of capitalist and socialist economy. Here we use both price mechanism and planning mechanism to solve the central problem of our economy. Now, very first thing is what to produce. Very first central problem. There are three major economic problems in an economy. They are what to produce. See, all these are problem of choice. Economy is having limited resources. Now, the first thing, the economy has to think that what to produce and in what quantity. Because due to the limitedness of the resources, our economy cannot produce each and every type of economy that is needed by the citizens of our country, by the residents of our country, by the individuals of our country. So it has to make a choice before starting. It has to decide what to produce, whether it will produce machine guns or it will produce more and more public buses and trains. This is a decision that the economy has to take. Why? I have given only two examples. Machine gun for the defense purpose of our country, and for the public utility, I have given you the example of public buses and trains. So what it will produce, because whatever it is producing, more the machine guns our economy will produce, less of public buses it will produce. Because our resources are limited, more of one means less of the other. So the very first thing, what to produce is the first central problems. I have written over here. You will just make it in your fair copy. You will note it down. It talks what to produce. It talks about the goods and services to be produced by an economy by efficient and effective allocation of its limited resources. Allocation means distribution. Whatever limited resources we are having, with that limited resource, if we do the proper allocation of the resources, what are the quantities, what are the goods and services that we can produce? It is basically what to produce. What to produce talks about the goods and services to be produced by an economy by efficient and effective allocation of its limited resources. Since our resources are limited, so an economy cannot produce all the goods and services. Is it clear? It is clear to you? So our resources are limited. With that limited resource, we cannot produce each and every type of good because our resources are not unlimited. So an economy has to decide which good or service it will produce. Hence, it is a choice problem. It is a problem of choice. The economy has to decide whether it will produce more of machine guns or more of public buses. Only two needs I have told, n number of needs are there, so the economy has to take a decision. It will have to allocate, it will have to distribute its limited resources in such a way that maximum benefit to the society takes place. Now the second one, once the first question is answered what to produce, the second one is how to produce. How to produce, it talks about the technical production used in the production process. Dear students, there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, enterprises. With the help of these four, land, labor, capital, enterprises, any goods or services can be produced. Now, process of production or the technique of production are of two types. One is labor-intensive technique of production, the other one is capital-intensive technique of production. So whether our economy will go for labor-intensive technique of production or it will use a capital-intensive technique of production. Now what is labor-intensive technique of production? Right now I told you that there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, enterprises. You have to produce any commodity with the help of these four factors of production. If any one of them is absent, you cannot produce a certain commodity. So the technique of production says in this technique, labor plays more important role than capital. In labor-intensive technique of production, where it is the labor-intensive technique of production, labor plays more important role than the machines, capital means machines. So the technique of production in which labor plays more important role than the capital or machines is called labor-intensive technique of production, and the technique of production in which capital plays more important role than labor, that is known as the capital-intensive technique of production. Suppose a cottage industry. If you visit a cottage industry, you will find large number of people are working over there manually, and less amount of capitals are needed, less amount of machines are there. So this is an example of the labor-intensive technique of production. Our India, it has a vast population, large number of unemployed population. So for our economy, we think that labor-intensive technique of production will be more appropriate than the capital-intensive technique of production. Second one, a technique of production, in fact, you visit a factory, there everything is done with the help of the machine. From top to bottom, from the beginning to end, everything is done by, you have bottle filling plants, you have seen, cold drinks plant, a plant which is producing cold drinks. Bottle comes, liquids, that is drinks are poured, capping are done, the bottle comes out. In a chain the activities are doing. No labor is needed. Only, yes, there are certain labors. Only they are the supervisors. They have to just watch whether each and every machine, one by one, they are performing their function correctly or not. In order to keep a watch on the working of the machines, these persons are engaged. So they are actually supervisors. And in this type of industry, bottle filling plant, we find that each and everything is being done with the help of the capital, with the help of the machine. Hence, it is an example of capital-intensive technique of production. So, before producing, the economy has to decide whether it will go for the labor-intensive technique of production or capital-intensive technique of production. In which method of production the economy is fit for, the economy has to decide. So I have written the same thing. It talks about how to produce. It talks about the technique of production that an economy will use to produce the selected commodity. The economy has selected the commodity over here. Now the second question arises, how to produce? An economy has two different techniques of production: labor-intensive technique of production, capital-intensive technique of production. Labor-intensive technique of production. In this technique, labor plays more important role than capital or machines. Capital-intensive technique of production. In this technique, capital plays more important role than labor. So, the economy again has to decide which technique of production it will go for. Hence, it is a choice problem. All the central problems, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, these are the problem of choice. So these are the central problems or basic economic problems part. The third one, for whom to produce. For whom? You are producing a certain commodity. Definitely as a producer, when you produce a certain commodity, you must have a concept of the target buyers. You will first decide who will purchase the commodity that you are going to produce. Suppose your factory, your farm is producing walking stick. Definitely your target buyers are the old, elderly people, old aged people. If you are making the school bags, then your target buyers are school and college going students. So you must have the target buyers. You have to decide for whom you are going to produce. Who will be the ultimate buyers? Definitely, you have produced a very expensive car in the economy, and you found that the price of that car is so high that only a few persons, only 2% of the population have purchased that very particular car that you manufactured. In that case, you didn't find any customer at all, but you have taken a lot of troubles to produce that very expensive car. So when there is no buyer at all, that means total money that you spent in production of your car is simply a mere waste. So before producing, the economy has to decide that who will be his target buyer, whether the rich class of people or the poor class of people. Who will purchase the commodity, who will be his target buyers, whether he or she is having sufficient purchasing power. I have made a product, I have fixed price. Whether the customers are in a position to pay for it, pay that much amount as I have fixed. So this problem directly or indirectly talks about the distribution of income. Distribution of income in the economy. How the national income is distributed among the citizens of the country, that is the distribution of income. This is the point for whom to produce. Again, if you are producing for the old age people, then one thing. If you are producing for the kids and toddlers, then other school going children. So for whom you are focusing your attention. Again, it is a choice problem. Why you are making this choice? Because your resources are limited. With that limited resources, you cannot satisfy the need of all classes, different classes of the people in the economy. So you have to make a choice for whom to produce. It deals with the distribution of income in an economy. It relates to the distribution of produced goods and services among the individual. The ultimate buyers for individuals, and who they are? They are the ultimate buyers for whom you are producing, ultimate buyers for which the goods and services are produced. It depends upon the purchasing capacity. So the person for whom you have produced that particular product, is he having that purchasing power to purchase that good? Otherwise, your total investment goes of no use. It is simply the total investment is just a waste for you. So it depends upon the purchasing capacity of the consumer, hence the income level. The economy has to decide whether to produce more goods for rich than poor or vice versa. This problem talks about the selection of target buyers for whom you are producing, who is the ultimate users in the economy, and hence again it is a problem of choice. So these are three basic central problems of our economy: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. What to produce means problem related with the selection of goods and services that our economy is going to produce. It deals with the allocation of our limited resources. Second problem, how to produce. It is related with the choice of the technique of production, whether we will go for the labor intensive technique of production or we will go for capital intensive technique of production. And third one is for whom to produce. Who is your target buyers? With your limited resources, you cannot satisfy the need and want of each and every section of the society. That's why before producing a certain commodity, the economy has to decide what type of customers he will have when the goods are prepared. Because a good produced by the economy may not be used by each and every type of individuals. If you are making a very costly car, definitely your target buyers are the elite class of the society. If you are making very cheap commodities which is available at a very low price so that the lower income group of the people can enjoy it, so your target buyers is the lower income group of the people. So that is the last point, that is for whom to produce. Now let me tell you one thing. After this there is production possibility curve, marginal opportunity cost, all these things. But for your syllabus, for this Corona year, those portions of PPC is just removed, it is deleted from your syllabus, and that's the end of the first chapter of introduction. With three lectures, I have completed this chapter. Now, dear students, you will write all the things I have written on the board in your fair copy, and go through the book at the same time with the note and with the help of the book. You yourself try to understand. If you are facing any difficulty, don't hesitate to call me. I will make your concept clear. Okay, students, that's all for today. We will meet in the next class. Goodbye.